What's going on, guys? This is Badass Review, and I'm back with my final Marvel Legends review of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Infinite Series, Superior Spider-Man. We'll have the Build-A-Figure review after this one, and then I'll do a final thoughts on the entire wave as in a whole. But I gotta say, this is definitely probably gotta be the Superior Spider-Man figure that Hasbro's come out with so far, having the Marvel Legends line. So I think this wave did a really good job giving us two really good Spider-Mans because I really love both of them. I like this one just kind of a little bit more because it looks more of the traditional Spider-Man. But you know, we got the Spider-Rock here, which is pretty cool. Kind of sucks that the series is ending though. So it's kind of weird because it's like they give us a costume like this when the series is going to end, but then they won't give us like the Phoenix 5 Cyclops, which is because Spider-Man's not going to be using this this costume anymore once the series ends. So it's like, why couldn't they just give us the, you know, the Cyclops? But anyways, that's a whole nother topic we could talk on for hours. But really, this is probably the best Spider-Man figure, along with the other Spider-Man that Hasbro has made. I would almost say that it's equivalent to the McFarlane Spider-Man that Toy Biz has made. It's really just an awesome figure. The sculpt is really nice. Articulation's great. The paint's not bad. It's just in some spots it could have been a little bit better. Just because I think it was either just the paint wear or something like that. I'm not really sure what it is. The paint's just not too terribly good on mine anyways, but it's still a really good figure. I definitely prefer this body mold and this figure way more than I do this atrocious piece of crap. This one is just like, I don't know, I never liked these style of Spider-Man figures. I mean, just look at the size comparison between them. He's so tall, or the Scarlet Spider is so much taller than Superior Spider-Man, and it just doesn't fit well comic wise and accuracy wise, because Spider-Man shouldn't be this tall, I don't think. And he's got his hands are way too big. These ones never had any good paint. I mean, this one came right out of package and he's got just a destroyed face. I mean, I don't know if like touching it up would even help, but it's just really bad. The paint wasn't too good. Especially with the Big Time and the Future Foundation. I only like the Future Foundation because it actually looked really cool. But the paint, like, there were still like smudges in the paint and there's still problems with it. But yeah, I just never really liked this figure for Spider-Man. This one is way better. They gave him all the good articulation. They gave him proportionate hands to his body. It just looks really comic accurate, except for a few things, but it's still a really awesome figure. Now let's go over his detailing. The paint is really nice. He's pretty much all black with the red and the black webbing on him. I'm not sure. I haven't like taken a close look, but I don't know if Spider-Rock's webs are his head sculpt. Let's talk about his head sculpt for a sec. I don't know if his webs are supposed to look like this, because if they're not, then someone really screwed up painting the webs on here. But because there's like a random web that goes way over here and it like overlaps the web that it's connected to, and it just, I don't know, the webbing's really weird. So I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like that or not, but if it's not, then someone did a really terrible job painting that. Other than that, I think the web work is pretty good. I like the spider symbol on the back, and it's really nice that they, well, I don't know, I thought it kind of lined up a little bit better, but yeah, it doesn't really line up too well here in the shoulder piece. I mean, it kind of does at an angle, but it's definitely not lining up here with his butterfly joint and then onto his shoulder. So that's kind of unfortunate, but it still looks really cool. It's not too terribly noticeable, but it is if you're like one of those people that, you know, get bothered by that. But that's about it for that. I mean, he's mostly just black with red. It's kind of a darker red. I feel like the red is a little bit darker on his shoulders for some reason. I think they probably didn't put like enough red there, but or maybe this was all painted and maybe this was like molded red or something. I'm not sure. It's kind of weird. It definitely looks like the plastic might have been red and they painted it, but I can't really tell for sure. And then he's got these feet which are painted red on the bottom, and then the toes are painted red as well as the back of the heel. And then he's got the serial number or whatever it is on the back, but just an overall really awesome figure. And the inside of his hands are painted. They gave him the little spikes that are on the tip of his fingers, and then they did the same on the more closed hand. I wish they would have given him fists or something. I mean, it's kind of cool. I kind of like that they had an open hand, but it would have been cool if it was like one was open and another one was a fist and then two whipping hands. But it's cool about this because if you have the Amazing Spider-Man figure from the first movie, you can take the webs that he had and you can put this in his hand and put him in some cool poses. I mean, if you can get the actual webs to stay, or if you have other means of making it look like he has webs in his hand, then by all means it'll be really easy to do that. You couldn't really do it with this Spider-Man because he actually does have two fists, which I don't mind, but it would have been cool maybe like one open hand for the web and one closed fist, but I'm fine either way. But they still added the little spiky things on the tips of his fingers, so yeah. But I do wish they would have, I think it would have been cool if they had given him the little tentacles that he uses to walk on, the little spider legs. That would have been cool if like you could just plug it into his back. But then it kind of takes away from the sculpt and the paint, so I guess it would be cool to have as maybe like a backpack thing. They could have just gone over him, but I can see how that could mess up the sculpt a little bit. But it definitely would have been cool if they added the little gauntlets that he has. He has like these little gauntlet things that are on there, if you know what I'm talking about. That would have been cool to have on there too, so kind of sucks we didn't get those either. But you know, other than that, those are just nitpicky things if you want to get like super comic accurate. But I think he doesn't get some of that stuff until later on in the series, so I mean, this is probably just like when he first gets his suit. So it's really a nice figure, and I would definitely recommend you pick this guy up for sure. If you're going to pick up any Spider-Man figure, it needs to be at least this one, and I would definitely say this one. Some people have a problem with it just because of the butterfly joint here, which they actually did do a little bit better of a job on this one just because it looks more fluent, and it doesn't really like make it look weird, and it kind of gives him more of a you know, muscular looking chest compared to this one. He just seems like he's kind of got like a flat chest, not really any pecs going on there. But this one, they did a good job, so I'm really happy about that. But yeah, other than that, like I said, he comes with two extra hands. Well, he comes with two whipping hands and then two kind of open hands like that. And then he comes with a Build-A-Figure piece. But so let's go over articulation real quick. His head is on a ball joint swivel or hinge, whatever you want to call it, so it can look up very high, can look down really nicely, rotates 360 degrees. His arms can go in and out the shoulder, rotate 360 degrees. He's got the butterfly joint for extra articulation, which is really nice. He rotates at the bicep, double jointed elbows. He's got a rotation in the wrist as well as a swivel. He's got a nice ab crunch, which gets a lot of range of motion. He rotates at the waist. His legs go forward and a little bit back. They go out and in, but they only go out about that far, which kind of sucks. But I think if you can rotate it a little bit, you can kind of get him to like spread his legs out a little bit more. But not too big of a deal for me because I get enough posability at him for poses and stuff. But he has an upper thigh swivel. He's got double jointed knees, a bend in the foot, and an ankle rocker. So really awesome figure. Definitely recommend you pick this guy up. He comes 2 per case, so he shouldn't be too terribly hard to find. But you know, this being like the first, well, like him and the Amazing Spider-Man being the first really good Marvel Legends Spider-Man figures to come out by Hasbro, I can see these being kind of more hard to find. So if you can find one, definitely don't pass him up, because he's definitely worth buying, and I would probably buy 2 if I wanted to. I may pick up another one someday, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm even gonna have this guy on display. He might be just you know, put in storage for when I want to use him for ACBA or something, but I don't know if I'll put him on my shelf or anything. So, but yeah, definitely worth picking him up. I got one more review, and that's the Ultimate Green Goblin Build-A-Figure, and then after that I'll do a final thoughts. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Stay tuned for more videos and reviews, and please comment, rate, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.